How's it going, family? There's a point that the thing is we need to be careful with how we handle components. Um, and just that. But one thing is that we can't unknow something that's found a structure in our mind. The thing is that by law, we do not live in an extension of God's mind. And you ask, how can God create, and I think what may parallel this is our tendency to look for, um, at the base of things, that we look for singularity and uniformity. But, how can God create something that is not, that is foreign substance to himself? And, the thing is, I think we live in a sensitive medium, but independent of him. And there's a couple ways that he enters into that, I believe, family. That he's outside of space time, that he's forever back, and that he essentially created time. But now he's effectively, there's the Bible mentions a ratio of time. But I think that's aside from this. But he's not in space time. And you add to that infinite, family. So that means that he could, in an infinitely small increment or slice of space time, he could be present. In the next infinitely small increment of space time, a slice of space time, he could be present. He could enter everything through that. And, as far as him creating something non-substance, there's different things, things that are to existent, like even, something, reality is to be realized. And, it can be drawn out in as far as it can. I think that it lies in, as far as we can know something or understand something, it can lie in one of two places. In him creating non-substance, or something of foreign substance, there's different ways to come to that. It's that he was everything and nothing, but then he created something, and that movement alone is foreign substance, family. And you could say it's an extrapolation, but it's not. It's not that. And you look at these are simple in the sense that they're almost non-effective, terms. But physical and metaphysical, they're non-congruent. You look at the complexity of the reality of our life through our minds, through our body, and that reality defeats our external. It doesn't equate to our minds deciphering, everything being through our minds, like our minds deciphering everything. And just for if you will, imagining ourselves and imagining our environment. And there's a whole thing that goes with this, family, but like I've thought of a lot of it. And it's it's that family. You can go a number of different ways with this, and I'm gonna, you know, solidify it in my mind to more, happily speak, of it, even if there's little activity in in regards to this, um, this part of actuality, even if, because people place themselves in one of two places relative to their most base uh, reality, and that is that they're created. They place themselves, uh, I dare say, initially in one of two places relative to the existence of him. And, we have enough of bearing to displace in the general direction of what we perceive family. And, that looks as different as it does for us. But there's, like I said, there's a billion different paths and there's one way. And, it's, the truth can be perceived. But, um, if God, if God, and this is something that's to be pondered, the self-existence of mathematical structure. But, I'd argue that a blind person could, and this is just using this, a blind person could create a logical map of a shape and could effectively have similar, if not identical, interaction and relation with other things within their mind. Yet it could be a different form, yet it could act the same. The thing is, but, I don't, this is just a little bit of thinking that goes into, everything. This is a rabbit hole, but I think the reality of, things are just as I said. He's not an active agent in this reality like that. This is not an extension of his mind. It is a sensitive, independent realm, and we see different ways. There may be, surface evidences of, in like realities of, conscious activity. Just surface physical interactions, and we may find that in, the cosmos, and may find patterns in, this existence. But the thing is, that doesn't, like I said, I think it's an independent, sensitive, medium, that he hatched, that he, I was talking to my brother, and I reasoned that he created all mathematical structure. So, and within that is, placing infinite within that, there is no reasoning with God. Everything is instant and absolute. We operate in certain realities, family, and that's one thing that's removed from God. And there were certain things that led me to believe that, that led me on my path of thinking, and, we need to, it's a matter of handling components. And like I said, we can't unknow something that's, created, structure within our brains. It doesn't, it says in the Bible, there's different things that, well, is everything is pertinent, but things that find uh, um, direct connection. One that came to mind was Abel's blood cried out, and God, uh, speaking through the bush, through the burning bush, and um, you could also parallel all miracles, all things falling outside of the natural order of things. Um, because, but it's that would lead you, that would make you look at integration. But this is, he, like I said, there's a number of ways that he can enter in, absolutely. But this is also open realm, and he, there's a necessity of an existence, and he sees everything in light of everything, and there is him choosing us, but that doesn't negate our free will. You're not, there's, I think they're concurrent realities. It's in the way that they are, and I think that's its own line. But that is to be, and as far as we can, it is to be understood. But what is it? It's that, this is a medium, just moving on. This is a medium that we realize ourselves in, and it's just that. That's why I do what I do, family, because I can be a piece. I'm nothing. I take no position. I'm merely a servant that moves into a given brother or sister's environment, and is maybe, if they so choose, if God and they so choose, I might be a part of their walk,